So, Hazbin Hotel Season 2 has concluded today. And I loved it. I think people are just being whiny bitches when they say that this show... I mean, it's an acquired taste. I can recognize that. But even fans were saying that this season was weaker. How the fuck are you going to sit there and say that? This season was awesome. I'm sorry. But we actually had a hellbound enemy, which I don't know if we're going to get in future seasons. Because season 3, we'll get into who I think the villain for season 3 is going to be. Then season 4, probably going to be more heaven or maybe earth villains. We don't know. But anyway. So they got released in 2-episode increments. The thing is, I wanted to do a weekly video, like a weekly update on episodes, like I'm doing with My Hero. Issue with that is that each video that I upload would be one whole video, right? It would be 2 episodes, or one video focusing on the first 2 episodes, and the second 2 episodes, third 2 episodes, fourth 2 episodes, and so on. I do not have enough brain capacity to remember 2 storylines. So I'm not going to do... Okay, this is going to be a spoiler review, but I'm not going to go in depth like I usually would, because I'm encompassing an entire season into one video. How they handled everything, I loved it. I loved it how they tackled Charlie's grief, Charlie's heartbreak on losing Sir Pentious, and everything. Just all of that. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Charlie's insanity. Awesome. I fucking loved that they made Charlie imperfect here, and actually we can see the cracks forming in her morality, which I think that was my main issue with Charlie, is that she's so ditzy, which isn't her. Like, the issue that I have with Charlie is that she didn't even trust Alistair at first, but she's letting Vox and Velvet into the hotel just willy-nilly. Yeah, that's not the Charlie we know. But I can almost excuse it, because maybe she's being naive because she's desperate. Because she just lost Sir Pentious and had a massive war and all of that. We don't see as much of Lucifer as I would hope, considering that he's literally the big bad. I liked the characterization of Vox. Vox is a lot more of a character than a joke you poke fun at. Like, honestly, Vox is pretty fucking intimidating until you get to the nitty-gritty of who he actually is. But just everything, dude. So good. I like that they tackled the emotion of, like, Angel not really wanting to be redeemed. It's not explicitly said to us that he doesn't want to be redeemed, but let's be honest, the way that he's reacting when Husk is, like, saying, hey, if you stay in the hotel, best case scenario, you get redeemed. Worst case scenario, you get stuck down here with me for another however long. And you can see Angel is, like, is like sad by that. And he's like, oh yeah, totally whiskless, shit like that. You could tell Angel does not want to be redeemed, and I think he's gonna tell that to Charlie. What I think will happen in season 3 is that Angel breaks his contract with Val, and because he has free will now, he tells Charlie that he does not want to be redeemed, and then that's when we get a potential Husker Dust, if it's confirmed. I think at this point it's confirmed that they've got feelings towards each other, because just the way that Husk acts with him, awesome, bro. Just awesome dynamic. Heaven, I'm gonna rant about Heaven in a bit, so I'll give them a little bit of grace with the characterization. Though I will say how they handled Loot just kinda upset me. But you'll see that. I'm sure Loot will be a threat, maybe season 3, potentially season 4. Who knows? Big topic. How they handled Alistair. Everyone's saying it's ass. You guys just do not know good writing. I'm sorry to pull that, but Alistair has a fucking plan. And if people cannot see that, then you are not watching the right show, bro. Because he willingly gets himself captured by the V's and makes a contract, which Alistair knows Vox will break. That's the best part that I like, that it almost comes off like Alistair refuses to allow himself to have companionship, but he still has the means to become the best companion ever. Because it's clear that he knows Vox enough to where he knows that Vox will break the contract based off of a technicality. He knows that Vox will not know any tricks up any sleeves, which is absolutely insane. Now, you're noticing how I'm going in depth on Alistair. It's because nobody else really has much of a storyline other than like Charlie's trying to prove this and that. She's trying to prove that Serpentius is redeemed, which I'm going to get into that later. But back to Alistair. He has this gigantic plan to like break his strings from Rosie. And it works. But there's also a part where Charlie and Vaggie fight because wait, fuck, I'm getting this out of order. So at one point in the story, Vaggie asks Lucifer to talk to the V's. It doesn't go well because Vox apparently, because we can't have anything nice. Vox apparently can see everything, and how he has the information about the hotel. He has it through angel dust. So basically, Vox was mind controlling Angel to give him information about the hotel, and was basically the spy. He didn't know he was the spy, which I think is the best characterization which we'll get into again. We'll get into that later in the final 2 episodes. But and that's how Vox knows that Lucifer cannot touch sinners. I want that answered. I feel like that's just a cop out to not kill Vox, because Lucifer is like, oh yeah, defend my daughter at all costs and all of that. But when it comes to the nitty gritty, he is not going to do anything because he cannot kill sinners. We need that to be explained. Why? Is that a heaven rule, or is that just his own morality rule? Because I feel like if your daughter's in trouble, you throw that morality out the window. I don't know. That's just me, personally. But Charlie finds this out, that Lucifer tried to go down. And she's not happy, and then she also lashes out at Baggy. Here's the part that pisses me off so much. So, Emily, Sarah, Lou, and Abel. By the way, fucking love Abel. He's a fucking goat, even though he didn't do shit this season. I'm so happy. He also gets a song, and it just brought me back to my middle school days, bro. Because the main singer is the lead singer of Fall Out Boy. He voice acts Abel, and when Abel was singing, oh, you could just feel the Fallout energy. But anyway, they go down to see Charlie. They have gift baskets, and Charlie's like, yeah, let's give them to all the sinners, and then you can mention the fact that redemption is a thing. So they go into the middle of the V Tower, and guess what they do? They just stand there. They just start talking and talking. They just apologize and like give gift baskets. And Vox is just laughing at them because it's like, look at what we're worth. We are worth a fucking gift basket. Ah! I'm telling you why I'm pissed off at this. The whole reason, right, that they went to the V Tower is to tell people that redemption is a thing. To confirm Charlie was right and Vox was wrong, therefore Vox is immediately unconfirmed. He's not truthful, and he makes shit up, and he's invalid. But they don't fucking do that. They just stand there being horrified that hell wants to fight back, that they want a war. What the fuck are we doing? This is the only part of the writing that I fucking hated, was that the angels don't mention the literal reason that this whole war is happening is because of the redemption talk. And they don't think for a second, hey, we should probably tell people that redemption's a thing. No. They just run around, scream, cry when Vox actually does attack. Right. So then they run away, being scared about, hell rising up. Pissed me the fuck off. I'm so sorry. How are you gonna sit there knowing Serpentius is redeemed? You know this whole war, this whole fight between Vox and Charlie could be avoided if you just mentioned that redemption is a thing and show proof. Is there some type of fucking rule that I missed where they can't talk about that shit in hell? Like, there are so many unwritten rules in the show that they better cover up. They better mention why it took them so long to tell people that redemption's a thing. They fucking better, dude. Alright, in the last 2 episodes, the gang starts fighting Vox. Yeah, starts fighting Vox, and okay, Valentino and Cherry and Husk are all fighting. First off, fucking Husk, dude. Where were these powers with the angels? Huh? You could have won. You could have no diffed the fuck out of Adam. But no, you just used guns. I don't know if, like, Alistair allows Husk to have more freedom after the events of season 1, and that's why he's able to use his powers. But yeah, just crazy, dude. Absolutely insane. But then we see Angel clearly out of it, clearly hypnotized, and he's about to kill Cherry. Then Husk slaps Angel, and Angel's like, "Ow, the fuck, Huska? The fuck, Huska?" And then he sees that he was choking out Cherry, and he was so sorry. He was like, "No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know." Because he wouldn't hurt Charlie, or he wouldn't hurt Cherry. He wouldn't hurt anyone. And they know that, by the way. I was happy that they didn't characterize them as like, "No, Angel, you're too broken. You're too fucked up. We can't trust you." I'm so happy they didn't go down that road, because they should know him by now. But yeah, they're fighting, and then Lucifer was kidnapped, by the way, and he was forced into a cannon by Vox because Vox tricked Lucifer into believing that Charlie wanted to see him. So then they put him into a gun and used his power to have enough energy to shoot at Heaven and then, kill Heaven. Well, shit, hold on. Well, the plan was working until Vaggie and whatever. Carmilla helped, which I was so happy. She looked pissed at Vaggie for trying to figure out the gun. I was so worried Carmilla was gonna betray. Well, she already did, but like, I was so worried that she was gonna be like, "Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna let you stop this war," and then attack Vaggie. No, she helped. So anyway, before Vaggie touches the cannon, we actually get to see what happened. So okay. There was supposed to be a meeting. This was supposed to be a big showcase party. And Charlie originally had a plan to expose Vox, broadcast her slideshow. But it doesn't go correctly because there's no internet connection. And Vox is like, "Yeah, I fucking told you so." And then Vox points the cameras to Charlie, and he says, "Admit that you were wrong." And then Alistair, having a plan, he's like, "Yeah, Charlie, come on. Just admit that you were wrong. Go ahead, show him how big and bad he is." Now, I thought that Alistair's plan to make Vox a bigger threat than he actually was. So then the angels prepare to kill him with all the angelic weapons. Turns out it's a lot easier to kill him. And that's how he gets taken out. No. Apparently, Alistair did a lot more of a big brain move. And he knew that Vox would be so condescending that he would touch Charlie on the shoulders or whatever to like mock her and belittle her. And this is when Alistair becomes the Mad Lad. He says, "Oh, Vox, you stupid idiot. You broke the contract." And then we see him break a couple of we see him burn away the ropes and then break handcuffs that were in Vox's color. And then he reveals that he got Vox on a technicality. He said, "You are not to lay a hand on Charlie." Vox broke that. Vox broke that. Alistair knew he would, and that's when we get the reveal that Alistair's not a fucking fraud. I said it. He was never a fraud. Y'all just had to let him cook, but you guys wouldn't do that because, God forbid, Hazbin Hotel gets a little bit of grace, you know? But he's not a fraud. He actually holds his own. In his normal form, by the way, I will mention that. He's in his normal form 99% of the fight. Against full demon form Vox. And he is winning. He is winning against Vox. He damages Vox to the point where he can literally rip out Vox's guts and just, I think he was trying to eat them. But then, of course, Vox pulls a 180, has the shark thing, and it starts chasing Alistair because, you know. But I'm telling you, people, Alistair is fucking strong. He went up against Vox in his full demon form. Alistair was in his normal form. Vox was in his demon form. And Alistair basically no-diffed the fuck out of Vox. Like, bro, that's insane. You guys do not understand the feat that is. But then Vox retreats back to the cannon. And he uses the cannon to try to kill Alistair. And Vox almost succeeds if it wasn't for Emily. Emily comes in and pushes Alistair out of the way, hurting her wing. And then Vox is trying to make a big old speech about, you guys can't stop this. We're defeating heaven. And then Velvet and Valentino, after months of being tired of Vox trying to make the show about him, they attack him. Amazing. Awesome. Fantastic. So then, this is probably the weirdest part. They all collectively go up to the cannon and start shooting their lasers at it. Lasers of friendship. And everybody's just surrounding this. Valentino and Velvet are actually helping them. And then weirdly enough, after Alistair and Rosie talk, Alistair, for some reason, helps Charlie again. And I fucking know. Because Charlie specifically mentions at the rolling of the credits that Alistair seems a lot happier, meaning that his deal with Rosie is officially broken. He has no ties with her, but he's still at the hotel. I fucking told y'all. I told y'all that that man was going to have a change of heart. If Alistair does die in season 3 or 4, he's going to reveal to Charlie that she is the reason that he was genuinely smiling. And I think, okay, here's what I think. I have a theory that Rosie was the main part of the chains that were holding Alistair down, but I still think that Lilith is a part of the deal. And I was going on a hate I wasn't going on a hate brigade necessarily, but I was criticizing fellow fans, sorry, that it just comes off like they're trying so hard to make Lilith bigger than she is. Because right now she's just sitting in heaven drinking Chardonnay or whatever on the beach. And even though we've had clear signs and literally told to us point blank that Rosie is the one that owns Alistair's soul, people were still trying to paint the narrative that Lilith has something to do with it. I somewhat believe that now. Because Alistair is still smiling. Even when he's on the ground bleeding, even when he's damaged really bad, he is still smiling. So that means that his curse is still there. It's just he has a lot more power now. He can freely use his power when he wants to. Just the only thing that he needs to figure out is, you know, getting rid of the smiling and like being able to be himself again, full force. But it also could be that he just likes smiling. Yeah, so then we get a really sad scene. It genuinely made me cry. Angel starts walking to the tower, the V tower, and Husk and Cherry are like, "Hey, why don't you come back to the hotel?" And Angel just cannot live with himself. The fact that he was used as a spy to hurt his friends, he just cannot deal with that. So he thinks that it's better that he just stays away from the hotel indefinitely. But I honestly, let's be real, he's not going to stay away from the hotel. He's one of the main characters. And plus, Blake Roman, he's very passionate about the show. So they wouldn't just get rid of Angel. I think season 3 is going to focus primarily on killing Valentino, or there's at least going to be a B plot of Husk and Cherry trying to free Angel from his ties with Valentino, because I don't think that they would just leave the show with Angel staying as Valentino's little pet, especially with the whole spy arc that he's going through. It's not going to be an easy battle. So I feel like there's going to be something where it's like Husk makes a deal with Valentino to own Angel's soul, but obviously Husk is going to break the contract, so then Angel can break free. And it's just going to be beautiful. Before the video ends, I'm going to mention some little just little extras at the end of the video. First off, Angel as a woman. Oh Lord have mercy. Please. Even Husk was like, oh shit, well, we know that him and Angel are potentially, you know. We know. I really liked it. We never get to see Nifty in her fighting form, so like seeing her go toe to toe with Velvet was pretty cool. Seeing Alistair actually go toe to toe with somebody without pussying out and being like, wait, let's make a deal. No, he actually was like full throttle about to kill Vox. And I was here for it. I cannot wait for future fights. The soundtrack was awesome. My two favorite songs were probably Gravity and then Lucifer's part of the song called Vox Pauloe or something like that. Such a dude, fucking Lucifer's dad can, or what? Lucifer's voice actor can fucking sing, dude. He can sing. Absolutely loved every minute of this season. I'm so happy that season 2 is out. I'm so excited for season 3. I really hope it's gonna... Vivzy has mentioned the fact that this season will be the encompass of the story she was trying to tell, which is good, but also I'm nervous for season 4 because like that means season 4 is going to be like a more chill season. Now my predictions for season 3. I think that season 3 is going to again focus on Angel Dust trying to free him from Valentino. But I also think that Lilith will be behind some shit. But I don't think Lilith will be the villain until the final season. Because they're building her up so much to where she comes off more like a final boss if she becomes a villain. I think season 3 will have Loot going on her own road and trying to take out Charlie. Why I think that is because they're building up this whole plot where Luke really is like hard stuck on trying to kill Charlie. You know what I mean? And it just seems to be falling flat. That's the only thing I didn't like about this season is that they built up Lou as if she's going to do some big badass thing and take out Charlie and rain hell on hell. But she doesn't. So I hope season 3 is when they're going to be building up all of that. I think Alistair will... I don't think Alistair will die necessarily. But I think he'll show his true colors eventually in this season. And he's going to show Charlie that he is strong enough to protect her, and then now people will see them as equals. So that was my review of Hazbin Hotel Season 2. Tell me in the comments what you guys think of this season. I thought it was amazing. But make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. Yeah, see you later.